Hello, welcome back to SCLC today. We're so happy to be here with you. Guess what? Just got off the plane from Los Angeles, and man, did we have a time. Miss Xernona Clayton and Bounce Trumpet Awards. Wow, what an event. It was fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm proud to say that it was an experience that would just touch me the rest of my life. And I was also honored with the Warriors of Justice Award with none other than Reverend Jesse Jackson, President Push, Rainbow Push, also Attorney Mr. Derrick Johnson, President of NAACP, and none other than my good friend, attorney as well, Mr. Mark Mariel, President, CEO of the Urban League. And of course, we represented SCLC. The four of us was there, and to have that fellowship for 2 days with the leaders that represent the traditional and the original aspect of the civil rights movement. We all have our roles to play, but to be there, because we all are going down different paths and we all are very busy. But to have none other than Reverend Jesse Jackson, who is still mobile, who's still a present force for justice and equality, not to mention Derrick and Mark. But we were there together in collaboration. And that's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. We need collaboration, not only just in the civil rights movement, but also in society. There's only one race, and that's the human race. But we have to work to obtain the respectability of all God's children and background and ethnicity. It's not just going to happen. You have to work at it. Again, thank you, Ms. Clayton. Thank you, Bounce TV, for recognizing SCLC and my leadership, along with the other civil rights organizations as well. But I personally want to just say thank you. The Warrior for Justice Award to the NAACP, the Urban League, Rainbow Push, and SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. We appreciate that. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, all over this country, we're going to have primary elections. This is very, very serious. And, you know, we don't get into politics because politics never freed the oppressed. The oppressed must free politics, but we believe in getting out to vote. We want folks to go and vote. We don't endorse candidates as an organization. We don't do that. But we endorse principles. And people who are embedded in the democracy are doing what's right for all God's children. That's what we endorse, the principles. And the fact that we have died, many of us, and have been left and disenfranchised from the rest of the world because of the 1965 Voter Rights Act, and even leading back to the originality of 1957, not to mention 1955, when Mrs. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, 1955, December. And then the involvement, sustainability of Dr. King and SCLC and the other leaders and co-founders. Dr. King was one of the co-founders, but there were others, and we won't elaborate on that at this time, but you know who they are. My mentor, none other than Dr. Joe Zalari, Reverend Fred Shuttleworth, Dr. Abernathy. Oh, by the way, had an opportunity to meet his daughter in Los Angeles just yesterday. She was there at the hotel meeting and greeting us. What an honor to have the bloodline of the civil rights movement forever being with us and from generation to generation. And we just want to just commend all of the collaboration of people in general. And so many people came from all over the world to this great event. And we just want to thank God for keeping all of us alive, and especially the memories and the history that we embark upon. Don't stay there. Don't stay there in the history, but know your history, and let's catapult into the future. Let's move forward. Many times we get bogged down, stuck in the past. We cannot any longer just stay in the past. The technology of today has proven that we have to keep up. Even as SCLC create its TV program, we're here today. We didn't have this many, many years ago, but we have our own TV network and a great producer in his own right, Mr. Clear, Mr. Rick Clear, one of the greatest producers that I know. And we're here to say SCLC is expanding on the communication of the media network that we're doing. And we're going to train a lot of young folks. But again, let's register if you're not, and let's get out to vote. You know, they gutted Section 4 and Section 5 of the 1965 Voter Rights Act. It was gutted because the U.S. Supreme Court said that we don't need the pre-clearance anymore. Redundancy, repetition is the mother of skill. I'm going to keep saying it because you can't say it 2 or 3 times and it sticks. I'm going to repeat it over and over again. June the 25th, 2013, I was there, not inside of the U.S. Supreme Court, but I was there on the outside, holding up a banner with others. And I keep mentioning the name, Senator Hank Sanders and his lovely wife, Fire Rose. We were there with 40, 50 other people. Should have been 50 million. But we were there. And I know what they said. Because you have a black president, racism has been eradicated from society. We don't need pre-clearance anymore. And ladies and gentlemen, many of our people don't understand. That's why we're going back to Jim Crow. But that was June the 25th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was there. I know what happened. And was a voice with 2 or 3, 4 or 5 more crying out in the wilderness. Don't do it. Come to D.C. Let's stop the gutting of the 1965 Voter Rights Act. But it seemed as though only a few people was listening. But now we wake up and we ask the question, why is our 1965 Voter Rights Act being suppressed? Because it happened June the 25th, 2013. I'll move on from there. Summertime is here. Oh, my. As we were walking this afternoon down Auburn Avenue as I was coming in from L.A., wow, what a sight to see. People coming up and down Auburn Avenue. We're at 320 Auburn Avenue, the King Center 2 blocks away. People want to be a part of the historicity of what we have accomplished in terms of the Civil Rights Act. Listen, let me say this as I close. We can be as successful as a society, as a people of any background or ethnicity, but you can never rest on your laurels. You have to always fight for freedom, democracy, and justice. You cannot sit back and think it's going to stay there. You have to fight for it every day. You know why? Because love is what love does. And I love you. God bless you.